Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time it's another receiver from Nems Clarke, and it's the model called Special Purpose Receiver model 1301A, whatever that is. I can't really Google this number there, so I think this one is from the 60s or a little bit earlier than that. It should be an old tube receiver, and it looks like it's AM and FM. That's also a little bit interesting. We've got a little bit of, let me get the light a little bit better. And then we got pitch control. That is a little bit interesting. And that one can go around many times and feels like I am rolling around with a few kilos. Audio gain. So this is volume. Okay, good. And this is a little bit interesting. Squelch, okay, IF gain. But why are we having 2 meters saying microamps? And that's it. Maybe you need the manual to figure out how to use this, right? So BFO, but a BFO, that is for SSB, right? So what is the idea here? And then we got different video bandwidth. That's also a little bit interesting. So this is probably for a data communication, because there is a video output, or video, that means just a high-speed IF demodulation output, right? So that is, I guess, what it is. Automatic gain control, manual, or okay, so and manual. Okay, so that will be the IF gain, right? And then here is the frequency adjustment. You gotta see this. So let's see the frequency adjustments and try and imagine this is a big round disc or something, right? So 260, and look how much it goes around. How is that possible? And then it goes all the way down to 50. No, oh no, we're far from there. 55, and then it's probably 50 here, right? But how is that possible? I mean, there's no space for this. So I mean, I think they're doing some funky tricks, or I'm just completely misjudging the size of this. How is this possible? Because if it goes this speed around, I mean, I don't get it. And then we got a lot of handwriting here. 146.23 and all sorts of things. Why would somebody write this down on a unit like this? And this is not the first time I see people writing stuff on instruments. Stop doing it. It's a bad habit. Don't mess up my nice unit, god damn it. Let's look at the rear. It's a big one, huh? And this is very, very classic military. Already the font just yells American military, right? Switch for mains voltage selection. I think I don't have a proper connector for that. But this one looks a little bit like, what is this, Australian or something like that? This is a special one where you like stick it in and then turn. And we got access to probably some external loudspeakers and stuff. We got SDU output, you know, definitely the SDU, whatever that is. Disc balance, antenna input. Okay, and here is the video output. Great. Ooh, this is a broken PL259. But I think I'll take off. Yeah, I'll take off the cover and have a look before I power it up. Let's get a little bit more light here. There's actually quite a lot of chips in this one. It definitely needs a clean. It looks like there's space for two different tuners. See, this is the short one, but you can also have a longer one. Then there's a trimmer of some sort. There's a tube missing here. Probably video output amplifier. Maybe this is one of those small tiny tubes, huh? And I was actually completely wrong about this rotary disc with all the megahertz. Look at that. There is actually space for a... now I see. All the megahertz, they go in many different levels. Look at that. And then there's something down here that moves up and down. And this explains why it can be there. Right? With all the gears and funky stuff here. Look at that. This one, take a note of that one. This is the opening window. This is actually moving up and down, but you don't really see that from the outside. And then you of course get a much longer scale, right? I got it now. Yes, and we got a crystal for IF down conversion. Yeah, quite a lot of tubes here. Oops. This one looks like, if I'm not mistaken, this one looks like it's a white topped. Yes. No, it doesn't matter. Look at that. This is a OA2. Oh, this can't be good. Can you see it? No, the neon gas is not in this one. So we don't have voltage regulation if this one is not good. And that means without voltage regulation, the anode voltage for all the high voltage stuff is gonna go sky high. So yes, you cannot power this up without a good OA2. And that other socket here, that's also OA2. Two of them. So let's have a look. Two different brands, so it was changed. And that one is nice and black in the top, just a little bit like that. And then it will most likely work. Let's try and turn the light off here, so now it's nice and dim. I prefer not to touch them when I do this. But you can see there's definitely gas in this one. And then the other one, see? Nothing. So I just need to go and get a new one. So after the problem with the voltage regulator here, I had an idea. I needed to take away all the shields, and let's have a little visual inspection. This one is all right. How about those three? This one is definitely broken. I mean, the 4 tubes here, they're not good. So I went shopping. That's the original tubes, and I believe, as you can see, they are bad. And here we go, some more common 12AU7s, and those are not the A versions. I got a lot of, by the way, and the difference, if you look, See, here is a normal. I don't know if you can see this side by side, but it's the filaments, and the grid is rotated in those, and it's made so it's a little bit more stable, and it should be less microphonic as well. It should also contain the filaments should be a little bit more controlled in its warm-up sequence, so its impedance is more controlled, so that means you can actually easier connect those in series if you want to. So, but I'm just gonna plug in for normal ones and see if I can get this to life. See the 12AU7, and it's also the ECC82 low gain tube used in more or less all audio amplifiers you can find out there. All right, I feel we should do it. I plugged in new tubes. So how about we just do it and see what is going to happen here, right? Mains is applied. Nothing bad is happening. We got light in both of the regulator tubes. 48 watts. I hear. Oh, listen! So there's a broken potentiometer here. This is good. Okay. What is this doing? BFO on and off, then the meters goes absolutely nuts. We miss a bulb. Pitch control. Okay, I tried to put this for 120 megahertz, and now I will turn on a signal generator at 120. Oh, 120, nothing. Listen to that. And then, aha, this is my signal generator. Yeah. Okay. Haha. This is interesting. It is definitely alive. So this is 1 millivolt. And okay, here we go. Let's try with a little bit of modulation. Now I've been playing a little bit with this radio and fine-tune frequencies and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, the potentiometer here is really bad. So let's turn on the signal generator again and... Haha! Of course we can do FM modulation, right? And then you just say channel 2. And channel 2 is playing back a stored waveform. So yes, this thing definitely works. All I need to do is see if I can figure out how much voltage and current and stuff is in this bulb and then check out if it can also do AM and stuff. We got light in all the lamps. Let's turn down there. Yeah. Look at that. But where's the light in my regulator tubes? They were really nice and bright when I powered it on. That is a little bit odd, isn't it? What if I... No. AM, FM, yada yada. But what is this? I haven't still figured out What is this pitch control doing? Maybe it's only in AM. Okay, so I'll try and play a little bit more with this. We also got AM 10 kilohertz. So then I put this one in 10 kilohertz as well, right? And then I go and play with this. So here's what we can do. I took out 3 of the 4 tubes. Remember, they're looking like this more or less. This is the worst one. And I know that we don't get any audio out if this tube is not here. This is probably a preamp or some demodulation amp, and this will be the loudspeaker amplifier tube together with this transformer here, right? So now I'll plug in this blown up tube and let's power it up and see what happens. Are you ready? I think it's gonna flash, but let's have a look. Is it going to play anything? No. That was boring. No kaboom, no little blitz, no nothing. How boring. I'm so sorry about that. Let's take it out. So let's try another one of the 4 tubes. So this one lights up. There's light in this one. It's definitely not easy to see. Is there any? Yes, yes, yes. This potentiometer here is just, see? But there's very, very little volume. Oh, it's coming. Oh, this potentiometer, I need to fix this. But it's fun to exchange the tubes and see what happens. I just took the last one. I think actually this one is the one that is most black at the top. This is definitely a measurement of how good it is. Listen how loud. They can play real loud. It's so funny. It's all about how much vacuum there's left in those thingies. Then you got all the good stuff in there. Okay, what a funny day. So as you see here, it's the entire sockets that's completely broken, and the way you change this is just to push and release it and then play with the socket here, right? But it's completely broken here at the bottom. This part here is supposed to be connected to that one, right? But those sockets are actually quite normal. See, I got another one here saved from some other equipment, and I kind of save these special parts because they're really nice to have on stock. And here is a screw-in bulb, and that's actually, I think today those are easier to find and replace. And this one should also fit here, right? Yeah, exactly. So I can continue my little repair project here. So that is good and great. I'm looking a little bit more around in this really, really old radio set here. So it's a really, really cool label here. Let me try and see if I can get a good picture of this label and put it in here in this video clip so you can read the text on that label. That could be really cool. The inside here is actually quite beautiful. The layout and everything, I kind of like it. In the power supply, you see the rectifier diodes here, and we see capacitor. This is a 3-in-1 capacitor in a socket, and yeah, mains transformer obviously. This funny old mains entry connector. Weirdo style. It is very easy just to unscrew this and mount in more modern IEC connector here. Super easy. Plenty of space to do that. So that is definitely a good modification to do here. I missed this lid for this room here. That's definitely missing, so somebody took this away. I took this one away just to take a look at the tuner part. And it's made really nice, but that's of course because this goes up to 260 megahertz and stuff like that, so that's why it's made this kind of nice and stable. I mean, look how kind of thick. You don't want to move this and touch this. Or if you bend this little part a little bit here, then it's detuned, so there's a reason for it to be this close to this part. So I really don't recommend anybody to poke around with components inside tuner rooms like this. Just have a look and that's cool and fine and all that, but and yeah, that was the 4 tubes we played around with, and that was the voltage regulator tubes. Look how nice and order there is in everything. A little shielded plate, and definitely I like it. This one is funny. This is a fine-tune variable capacitor or coupling, and there will be an inductor or some coupling filters, something in here. So this is a funny way to adjust this. How long is it, or how tight is this? Nice. Here's a funny thing. On the side is a permanent marker saying tubes are okay in 2611 1965. That is some, and that's probably somebody's like repairing or testing. So I mean, let's just say this unit is from 1960, alright? I forgot to talk about this pitch control. So there's a reason for this to sound like this, and that is the gear. How the heck is it sounding like this? To control this tiny little capacitor. And so far this is not doing anything, really. Maybe it needs a little drop of oil or something. Oh, sounds bad. There's definitely a completely wrong feeling. It's getting late, and I think I'm done with this unit for tonight. See, now we got a new nice IEC power connector instead of this funky. See, I had to solder on it to test this device, but I think this is a lot better. See, I had the holes in the middle, so I had to remove it up or down. So I choose that one. I also corrected this connector here, so that is nice. So now I can screw this all back together and assemble, and be done and happy. So I think that was it. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye. Good night.